You know how at the end of every year, our feeds are flooded with these super fun, shareable summaries of our lives? Our most streamed songs, top artists, all that good stuff? But what if you could get that same kind of cool, data-driven review for your professional skills? Well, a new trend is doing exactly that, bringing the whole year-in review experience right into the world of coding.
I mean, just think about it. What if you could get a personalized visual recap of your entire year of grinding out problems? Not just some boring list of what you did, but a real story told through data, highlighting your wins, your habits, and the moments where you really pushed your limits. It's a fantastic idea, and guess what? It's actually happening now.
So, how does this whole thing work? Well, the idea is pretty simple, actually. It takes the same framework we all know and love from our music recaps and just applies it directly to a developer's journey. Basically, we're swapping out playlists for problem sets.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This completely reframes how we look at professional development. Suddenly, these metrics we use for fun can be applied to our work in a really powerful way. Your top artist? That's now the problem category you kept coming back to. And your number one song? That's the one super tough problem you obsessed over. It turns coding from a task into a personal, measurable adventure.
Okay, so let's get concrete. What would this actually look like for you? Let's say you've been putting in the hours on LeetCode all year, really trying to sharpen your skills. The year ends, and you get your personalized recap. What kind of story is it going to tell?
The tool just goes in, pulls all your activity, and then serves it back to you in this slick, engaging series of slides. It literally tells the story of your year in code.
And boom, the first slide hits you. A big, bold number. 85 problems solved. All at once, those late nights and tricking algorithms feel totally worth it. It's a tangible number you can be proud of. Talk about a motivator.
And the next slide pops up, and it reveals something you might not have even noticed yourself. Your go-to problem type was dynamic programming. And this is where the insights become so valuable, right? Are you leaning into a strength? Or maybe you're consciously trying to conquer a weakness? Either way, now you know for sure.
Of course I know what you're thinking, especially if you're a developer. This is cool, but how'd they build it? It's a fun concept for sure, but the tech that makes it all happen is just as fascinating. So let's pop the hood and take a quick look. No huge surprises here. The project is built on the backbone of the modern web. It is overwhelmingly JavaScript, which is what's powering that whole dynamic, interactive experience. And that's backed up by CSS to handle all the visual flair that makes your recap look so polished. And if we dive a little deeper into the tech stack, you can see it's a really modern setup. On the front end, you've got things like React and Framer Motion. That's what makes the animation so smooth and slick. Then on the back end, Cloudflare Functions and Firebase are the workhorses handling all your data securely. And they're even using PostHog for analytics to see how people are actually using the tool. But hey, this is a real-world project, so of course it wasn't all smooth sailing. There was a pretty significant challenge, and it's a classic one that lots of developers run into: getting access to all the data you need. And here it is, the core of the problem. Without a user actively logging in and giving permission, the LeetCode API basically says, nope, you can only see the 20 most recent submissions. And that's not nearly enough to build a whole year in review, right? So how do you get around a wall like that? This is where you see some real developer creativity. The short-term fix involves having a user manually provide something called a session cookie, which basically gives the tool temporary permission to see their full history. But, asking for cookies can feel a bit sketchy. So the much better long-term solution is to build a trusted Chrome extension that handles all of that automatically and securely. That way, users get their full report without any friction or worry. So let's zoom out for a second, because this is about way more than just one cool project. It's a perfect snapshot of some much bigger trends that are happening in the tech world right now. It really signals a shift in how we think about our own professional growth. So what are the big takeaways? Well, this project hits on 3 huge trends. First, there's the gamification of learning, making skill development feel as fun and engaging as your favorite app. Second, it's a perfect example of the quantified self-movement, but for developers, using your own data to find patterns and get better. And finally, it's just an awesome testament to community-driven innovation. It shows how one person's passion project can grow into something valuable for the entire community. All of this really just leaves us with one final, pretty exciting question to think about. We've seen it for our music, for our movies, and now for our coding. So if you think about your own career and your own goals, what part of your professional life deserves its own wrapped review next?